and Fox Sports. Joining me this morning is Doug, and Doug, as you know, does the newsletter. He's got another great newsletter that you can sign up for on huntingfishing.com. Doug, what do you got today?
Well, right off the bat, all right, in Arizona, just as an announcement, there's a statewide deer permits are to be auctioned at the 2023 Hunting Expo. Cool. North Dakota, there are more than 3,500 deer licenses are still available in 7 units for North Dakota's 2022 deer gun season. That kind of blew me away. I didn't think that would ever happen. Let's see. In Alaska, a 5th bear killed at Centennial Park, Anchorage. And what we need to understand, this is a park where the homeless reside. So they're living in tents and that sort of thing. And 5 bears so far have been killed in this park raiding these tents. I mean, that's just, gosh darn, that's unbelievable.
I got a problem with that whole scenario.
Well, I do too, Don, but what are you going to do? No one's been killed as a result.
Except the bears.
Token, yeah.
I have more sympathy for the bears than I do the other indigenous wards on society.
I agree. Speaking of Alaska, the environment has taken its toll on a couple of rivers up there, Bristol Bay and the Yukon River. The numbers are up in Bristol Bay, but they are down in the Yukon River. This is a sad state, and it has something and along the lines of warmer weather that is reducing this. I don't know how else to put that. But Game and Fish up there, like any Game and Fish, keeps an eye on these sort of things. That's too bad. It's in the Yukon River. It is salmon run is heading toward the worst ever season. Shame. Speaking of which, next week you're going to highlight the ICAST event.
We're going to talk to Ron Stalling from TTI Blakemore that was there. Ron always does a great job. So,
and I do put little things in there. I got a couple items in our newsletter this week about ICAST. You know, the awards, the top award, the top 10, that kind of thing. Interesting information. You know, if you've never been to ICAST, and Don and I both have been, it's a fascinating event, no question about it. Let's see. And speaking of which, there is a clip there, a link to the best category winners for 2022, if you're interested. Of special note is the Juan Bass tournament is forced to leave Lake Mead due to record low water levels. Wow. Well, we know that's an issue. And it's not just Lake Mead, you know, it's Lake Powell as well.
Yeah.
But that's too bad. That had to happen. And they're actually going to move to Lake Mojave because of that drought level. Well, there you go.
That's going to be an interesting shootout on, we call that blow Mojave because the wind is always blowing on Mojave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. You know, we've talked about this a couple times over in California. The anti-rights situation over there over guns. There's just one more nail in the coffin over there, and their Senate Bill 1327 is just another nail in the coffin. And they continue to pound on this. And just as Mark Brunovich was talking about Second Amendment rights, it's something every hunter and fisherman and Patriot needs to pay attention to. They're going to take this away from us if they got anything to do with it at all.
Yeah.
So it's so sad. But, here, in fact, is part of my issue with this legislation. Any legislation. Where when they put this out, it is a conglomeration of words that just blow your mind when you try to read these things. And getting confused, and it throws you a left curve. And I think they do this kind of stuff on
It is,
purpose.
Doug. It's called left-wing dribble or babble.
Yes, I agree with that. Oh, my gosh. All right, moving on. Under the wildlife category, there is a farm up in Wisconsin that breeds big game whitetails. They do that for clubs and organizations that want big game out on their property for hunters to come in and shoot. All right. Well, there are 300 currently on this particular farm. It's called Maple Hill Farms, and it is contracted CWD. What do? They're going to go in and destroy all 300 deer for that particular reason alone. What a shame that has to happen. Now, I'm not saying they don't have it. They did test positive on several deer. One in particular was a 6-year-old doe that was born actually right on the farm, but that doesn't mean that deer couldn't get it. The sad part is this person is going to basically lose their business, even though they're being compensated at $3,000 per animal. So, I mean, there's a $1.5 million paycheck coming to this person, but man, you end up having to start over. Wow.
Well, there may be some liability because SEAL also has shipped 387 deer to 40 other facilities in 7 additional states.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
They're hanging out there.
Yeah, exactly. This was really kind of weird. Fishermen, and where were they? Off of Dolphin Island and out of Alabama, out deep sea fishing, and this particular angler pulled in a 5-foot wingspan stingray into his boat, and it was a female because the minute she got it into the boat, because of stress, that's what Game and Fish is telling us, she dumped all her kids out in that boat.
Wonderful.
So the mother survived. They were able to put her back, but all those babies just died. There's nothing they could do about it.
I was under the impression that big ray had actually jumped into the boat.
I take that back. I think you're right. You're right. And she flew out of the water and onto the ship. So she wasn't caught. She flew into the boat.
Yeah, spotted eagle ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Pretty animal, but too bad about the kids,
Yeah. She'll make more.
I know. Now, on a more ridiculous note, up in Vermont, a Groton resident was cited for interfering with bear hunters. Now, this is a single person, 61 years old, and she was cited for hunter harassment, and there was no one injured or anything. She's one of these kooks that just got out in the middle of the road and just started ranting and raving on these guys. Too bad. I don't know. This woman used bear spray on this group of hunters. Now, come on. It's like tree huggers, just doesn't make sense to me.
So did she get arrested and charged?
Oh, yes. 'She's, 'cause, 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 Uh, yeah, she was arrested by the Vermont State Police.
I wonder if there was anything assault with a deadly weapon. Simple assault, they call it
Yeah,
out there.
and I believe that's true, Don. I read the article, but a lot of times when I read so many articles that I just don't remember half of what I read. So, lastly, on the kind of a humorous side, is this actually came as a link from some friends of ours who are out on the ocean off of California, and the individuals there, this lady's grandson caught a rockfish that had been tagged by somebody, but the tag on this rockfish, you can see it in the picture, says, "Let's go, Brandon."
Nice.
I mean, yeah. Well, it was tagged
That's
by
good to
somebody.
know that Joe Biden, his reputation has made its way to the abyss.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so that's kind of a highlight of what's going on in the news.
All right, good job. If you guys don't get Doug's newsletter, you can sign up for it at huntingfishing.com. He's Doug. I'm Don.